Hi, guys. Welcome to our third official episode of Barbie Talks. I am so excited to talk about this topic today because whew, this is really the epiphany of this channel. Like, I really want to hop around to different topics because it doesn't always have to be niche based like one thing. But I am your girl, the Brown Barbie, your real and raw influencer. If you are tuning in on YouTube, hey girl, hey boy, hey. If you are listening, hey girl, hey boy. Let's get into the tea. We already know I start off every episode with a quote. And today's quote is, drumroll please. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weakness, but to discover our strengths. I don't know who did this quote, so we just saying unknown. But let me say that one more time. Sometimes we're tested not to show our weakness, but to discover our strengths. And before I get into the topic of influencing, the whole fast pace, like, I really want to break that down because I know it gets really hard sometimes when we face these tough battles or discouraging things happen in our life and we have these hills that we have to overcome. But we have to understand that these things are strengthening us and molding us for the good. So if you are on a path, everyone's going to have their own missions for their path, but we all do have to be realistic. If you want to do some big things, you're going to have some big hurdles to get past. So understanding that this is not to bring you down. I feel like naturally as humans we can say, why me, God? I don't want to do this. I'm not your strongest soldier. But when we put it in perspective like that, we tend to kind of victimize ourselves and not see the benefit of this. Okay, I went through this. How can I get past this? And it's molding us and shaping us for those next steps, those big milestones that are really going to change our life. I talked about in our first episode showing that you are worthy for your blessings. And I feel like this quote is very, very much emphasizing that point, that sometimes the test ain't to show that we buckling, we weak. It's showing us, okay, I'm able to withstand this, even if it takes time. And this doesn't mean that you have to deal with it in that moment. It might take you a minute, maybe a breakup. You had your time. Maybe you had to take a year to get back to yourself. With a job offer, the list goes on. We tend to think of them as such a negative based thing, but in reality, they're helping us and molding us for the better. When we start to look at things as the glass half full rather than half empty, we start to see how so many blessings and so many of the things that we genuinely want naturally attract to us. So let's get into this topic because this is real for me, okay? This is my life, y'all. If you watch on YouTube, you see the dirty look on my face because this is really my life, y'all. We are going to get into influencing. So if you are an up-and-coming influencer, you want to know a little more about the influencing world, or you are just an influencer yourself and you want to hear the perspective of someone else, tap in, get cozy, grab your little dwank. If you smoke some hookah, grab a hookah, not a puff pen now. We not smoking the puff pens, girls. You want a little hookah, you want to indulge, you want to, do whatever you need to do to unwind. Or if you're just cleaning, whatever you're doing, let's lock in and let's get into the courtroom, okay? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. How I talk to my friends is we always say this is a committee meeting. And we got our judges, you dismissed out the courtroom. We got the gag orders. We got all the lists. So I could treat this like this episode, but I think I'm going to leave that type of dynamic for when we have guests because it'll be a bit more interesting. But first thing on the docket is, with influencing, are we thinking, is it a monkey see, monkey do? In my personal opinion, I feel like I've been seeing so many people in my personal life that I know refer to what I do as a dream, or just refer to like, oh, that's just like, whatever, they're not taking it serious, but they don't understand the work that gets put into it. And sometimes I kind of feel like a lot of people just think, yes, you could pick up your camera and record, but it is more than that. It is way, 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 way more than that. This changes people's lives. And these people aren't getting these brand deals, these brand trips, and all of these opportunities because they're just picking up their camera, recording, and not filming in high quality. They're doing a crappy edit. Now, when I'm saying all this, I'm saying this in the sense of someone that's kind of just doing it because a monkey see, monkey do. Like, oh, she's getting up, I could do it. Yes, we all can do it, but influencing, you guys, is a very hard task. And we gonna really break down a lot, but I'm just giving you my overview of just the surplus, the flooding of influencers nowadays, whether they're bigger people that already had a social media presence that are trying to flip to influencing, um, just regular people, micro influencers, major influencers, the mid influencers, all the above, the YouTubers that are now shifting, all of that stuff. I feel like some people, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Do we think this is a quick money game? And I said this to one of my friends, and she said no, but I think it's a quick money game. I think everyone's thinking this is so easily accessible. Oh, this girl's just picking up her camera and recording, and just recording her go to Stop Shop, recording her go to the grocery store, recording her do her day-to-day life. But they're not understanding that, in my personal opinion, if you want to be an influencer, you have to be influential. And this is not, we are all influential in our own way, but you have to find your strengths. So maybe you're not the person that is supposed to be recording their day to day. Maybe you're a motivational speaker, so maybe doing more motivational talks, or maybe you're a cook. Like, I feel like a lot of people are kind of just trying to jump in without knowing their strengths. They're just kind of going off of, oh, this girl is doing this, I'm gonna do. And it's a lot of effort. There's a lot of effort that goes behind influencing, you guys. The video production, the ideas, buying stuff, and then just posting and really getting people to like listen to you. Influencers do not get paid what they get paid and the opportunities they get paid for funsies. This is hard. Even for a while, to spin it personally, it was hard for me to really let the people know around me, like, hey, this is what I'm doing for fun, but this is also a very serious career. You might watch a 7 to 15 second little short, but you're not realizing I had to film the transition, teach myself how to do the transition, film a makeup look, and really hardcore edit, so it is being presented in a way that is entertaining. And we can definitely get into the tech aspect another day. We all know I am a STEM girl. If you guys did not know, I am a chemistry major. I did have a marketing internship, and I do marketing for myself, obviously my other business, and for the place that I work at now. And marketing alone is not an easy job. So you have to understand that there's so many components into this. When I'm seeing all these people trying to be influencers, like, I just see random people that I know from my town just trying to be influencers. I'm like, do y'all really know what you're getting yourself into? Because this is a trying field. Like, if we look at some of the big influencers, it took them a while. It took them a while. And once again, I said this in episode 1, just speaking on the fact of your time is your time and you can't rush. And I do kind of think that a lot of people are doing it for an easy money grab. They think it's going to be super quick, when it's like, this ain't easy. You have to be self-disciplined. Even the best of the best still have to be self-disciplined. And also, you have to understand, in these beginning stages, I've been doing influencing seriously for about 3 years now, not consistently. 3 years now, and I still haven't even really seen heavy growth on my page, and it gets very discouraging. It's not an easy thing. So now, if we dive into the topic of trends, I know a big thing that I feel like people aren't understanding is you can hop on a trend and not and gain the followers, but your content not go through. Like, so just to break down to anyone who is not in the influencing world or this is not your place of specialty, when you want to become an influencer, you need to figure out who your target audience is. So if you are a cooker, you are going to want to appeal to people who like to cook. If you are a mom and you are giving mom tips, filming your mom duties, you're going to be pertaining to mothers, and the list goes on. So it's not as easy as just picking up your camera. You have to be intentional when you film. You have to, really be intentional. I think the trends are fine. I think the comedy aspect is fine. But even me on my personal platforms, I kind of get a little anxious with posting trends because with the whole trend thing, your personality can get overlooked. So that's why I feel like podcasts are in now. The Get Ready With Me's on TikTok are becoming in, and more people are being interested in watching longer vlogs because people want to feel like they're with you. People want to feel your personality. People want to feel like you're my homegirl. So I kind of do feel like there's a lot of good micro influencers right now, or a lot of people that are coming up and are interested in pursuing this. But they are maybe not jumping on certain trends. And when I'm talking about trends, I'm not talking about trends in your niche. I'm talking about like a TikTok dance, just like a trending sound or something like that. It's always good to, keep yourself open and, do different things to see what sticks, but you have to stay true to yourself. So I kind of feel like a lot of these trending people are kind of overlooking. I don't know. Let me know, you guys, if you are feeling like the trendings and the trending influencers in air quotes are kind of overlooking the actual people that want to do influencing, that are trying to build a genuine community. And I feel like it's a lot of irony because it gets so tricky talking about influencing because you genuinely have to step out of your own body to understand that it is bigger than you. For me, my platform is bigger than me. When I am talking about the brown Barbie, I am speaking to mostly African American women, women of color. And, I'm speaking on this to show range, to show diversity, to show we can be multi-talented, we can be ambidextrous, we can, do this, but then also be interested in this. It's not so one, like niche down. That used to be a really big thing where it was like, I'm a beauty girl, I just do beauty. I'm a this girl. Now everyone's starting to show their personality and say, well, I like beauty, but I also like to cook too. So I feel like it's a lot of it's a lot of sprinkles of different things. And hopefully we definitely will revisit this topic again with another influencer and really dive deeper into it, because this is a solo episode today. So, I'm only being able to talk about so much, but it gets hard, you guys, because you can't build a genuine community off of trends. You can't build a genuine community if you are kind of being overshadowed. And when I say overshadowed, I'm not saying the point of there's not enough room at the table for everyone to eat. Everyone can be an influencer in their own way. There are enough people in this world for whoever wants to be an influencer right now to become one and be monumental and get those same experiences other people ahead of them have. But intentional, you have to be intentional. And I'm not speaking on, the people that are doing the trends, or, people that are kind of just hopping on the wave, not being intentional. But you just said the other day, oh yeah, like I see you do your little makeup videos, oh, it's a dream, it's a this, it's that. Now I'm turning around and you doing the same thing I'm doing. So how is this making sense? You're the same person not resharing my post, not liking my stuff, but yet you're asking me my equipment. You're asking me what camera I use. You're asking me how to edit. It gets really jumpy because it's like, okay, well, where's the genuine community of support just to that person trying to influence? And then on top of that, like, are you genuinely doing this to make a change. I feel like any influencer, what is your point? When you want to be influential, you have something to say. You have a topic you want to talk about, you want to bring light to something. So, what is that thing? So, any up and coming influencers watching, or if you've been interested in influencing, please do not feel discouraged on how I am talking. Anyone can become an influencer. Everyone don't know everyone's story, but just be intentional when you shoot. And I think it's a little funny because everyone's like, they'll post a video and it gets a bunch of views and follows, but it's like then the rest of their page is pretty like, oh, they're not getting any likes. It's because you have consistency. You have to be consistent, and you have to build your community. And it's hard to build a community when you're not getting support. So these same people that are turning around wanting to be influencers are the same people that are not reposting your stuff, liking, engaging with you. The list goes on. So I kind of feel with just the surplus of influencers coming out, it gets a little hard to build a genuine community because a lot of things are getting lost in the lost in translation. A lot of things are getting mixed messages. I feel like the actual image of an influencer is changing for the good and for the bad, and we'll talk about that towards the end. But it's hard to build a genuine community. It's hard to build a genuine community, you guys. If you are watching or listening, your favorite influencer or someone you see coming up, like, just like and engage. It's free to like, it's free to share, it's free to engage. If you had a business, you would want support. And the biggest thing about influencing is a business. You become your own brand. Your face becomes your brand. Your cooking becomes your brand. Whatever you are posting on your stuff, that is you. So you have to really understand that you ain't gonna have that much support in the beginning. It's gonna be a harder journey than just picking up the camera and recording. So I feel like there's so many people kind of just farting around, kind of just jumping in and out, that it is, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like they are washing out a lot of the intentional people, or, people that have been doing this for a while. It's a little hard because everyone's time is their time. So that's why you guys kind of see me hopping back and forth with my opinion, because I see both sides of it. But I do feel like in terms of support, it's hard. And I know a big thing, if you are on TikTok with the influencers, with the Tarte trip, just a little backstory on the Tarte Dubai trip. They invited a lot of influencers to go to Dubai and literally just be like, I'm in Dubai with Tarte. And there was no women of color. I think her name is Monet. I'm not sure the rest of her name, but she's a popular TikTok influencer. And she probably was the darkest girl there. And she's pretty fair skinned. I'm not sure of her background, but a lot of people were very upset that there was no black girls, or there was no women of Latinx descent, and there wasn't much diversity. But what we have to understand with influencing, you are influence. If you see someone you like, you scroll past the makeup video and you just watch it and you scroll. Do you think that's helping that person get on a brand trip or get a brand deal? If you're not supporting your homegirl that's trying to do it, your homeboy that's trying to do it, do you think that's going to get them on a trip? I feel like it's going to be a little hot take, especially with the black community when it comes to influencing. It's so hard to get a like. You have to jump through hoops to even get engagement, or you have to be messy, you have to, have drama, or you really have to jump outside the box in order to reap the benefits of engagement. And it's such a disservice to our community because there's so much talent out there, and there's so many genuine people that want to share their story, want to, share their testimonies and really empower our community, but we're not allowing them to. So it's like, how upset can we be with people not getting opportunities as our counterparts? And it's a really hard topic to talk about because there's a lot of factors, but I just think a lot of people are being undervalued right now. A lot, a lot of people are just being undervalued, and a lot of people are being, sold a story or getting shortchanged, and it sucks. It does. Coming from, my own perspective, it's a tough game. Yes, we all bring our own things to the table, and yes, there's enough money for everyone to eat, but this is still a competitive job. I think with everything being so accessible to us, we forget that this is a job. People wake up at 5 in the morning. If someone starts their day at 5 in the morning and they're doing a spend the day with me, they have to wake up at 4, get the camera set up. Really, they got to plan their day the night before and be very intentional when they're shooting for a successful video. And now that's not anything for the outside audience to worry about because you ain't tell nobody to, film their day. But I feel like putting that into consideration, like, wow, this person put an effort. I like this sound. Let me save the video. Or just naturally engaging. It would bring so many more opportunities to our community, but it's hard. I don't know why it's so hard to please us. And with that trip, I actually made a TikTok video about it and I broke it down. Like, I'm not sure if you guys know, when you walk into a clothing store, the little security detectors, that actually also monitors who walks in and out the store, right? So the analogy I used was, say I own a store and 40 people walk in and out. 40 people walking in and out is equating to views, and only 10 people, we'll say 20. We'll say 10. We'll say 10. Only 10 people, actually, let's put the percentage higher. 400 people just walk into my store, and only 100 of those people buy something. The ratio's off. So now when it comes to deliberation time and they're reviewing the audits and all of this stuff, and it's seeming like my store is falling short, I ain't gonna reap no benefits. I'm not gonna get new stock. My employees aren't gonna get a pay raise, etc. The list goes on. And we can use this analogy in influencing. If you got the amount of likes your views had, even half of the likes your views got, and then even half of those likes of commenting and saving and sharing, so many more people will get so many opportunities. And once again, it's not your responsibility per se to, like every post or whatever, but if you see something you're interested, you see a creator you like, or something just inspired you, like, definitely could just leave a little comment like this was cute or whatever. You could share it with someone else that you think may enjoy it. You could just save the post and you could just like it. It's really easy for us to go around and talk about, like, well, why isn't this way? Why isn't that way? But it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? What are we shortcoming that it is not this way? Now, luckily, so many things are changing in the influencing world, so much more diversity within the beauty industry as well, which is contributing to the diversity in the influencing world. But it's still tough, you guys. Building a genuine community is tough. It's tough and it takes a lot of work. So I just wish people would kind of just value the effort more. And I know for me personally, I just, if I see something on TikTok or social media that I enjoy, I give it a like, or I'll just save it just to save. It's not really hurting anybody to do that. And I feel like there's just so much talk going on about what's wrong with our world, what's wrong with influencing, what's this and that, but it's, what are we doing to contribute to that? We see our counterparts that could post a video of them lip singing and they get 1.5 million, but then you have an amazing person of color singing a cappella, doing a guitar or whatever, and they're reaching nearly a quarter of those likes. Why? That's the question we have to ask. Why? Are we as a community making it harder for ourselves to get up because we are so hard on ourselves? Is it just how the world goes? Is it just how it has been since the beginning of time? I don't know. But I just feel like if we all start to make a change and just be a little more considerate of people's efforts and what people are and aren't doing, that some change will happen. Now, if you tuned into this episode just to hear my thoughts on influencing, I hope I am providing you guys some amazing insight and another point of view from my own personal viewpoint. And this is kind of teaching you something and kind of just making you go, oh yeah, oh yeah. So, next time if you're on Instagram and you see a bunch of influencers on a brand trip or they have a sponsorship and, you're like, oh, I don't never really see, somebody that look like me on this working with this brand or on this brand trip, then also maybe you as a consumer need to reevaluate what you're intaking on social media. That's why they say it's very important to follow things that genuinely interest you, not to follow just to follow or follow because it's messy, following the Shade Room, following the Hollywood Unlocked, following all these pages, follow people that motivate you, follow people that inspire you, follow people that you enjoy, because by doing this, we're positively contributing to society. Not only are you just intaking things that you genuinely enjoy and that are providing positive things to your life and providing you dopamine, you're also helping these influencers out actually reaching their target audience. There's a market for everything. I say this all the time. You go on TikTok and see people just coloring, just sorting through beads, sleeping and saying, oh, try to wake me up, and we know they're not sleeping. So also reevaluating, what does social media look like for you? When you scroll on Instagram, what is on your feed? Are these people you relate to? Are these people you're inspired by? Are these people that have relevance to you rather than just look or to be nosy? So it's a lot. It's a lot of contributing factors to this overall picture, but I think there's influencing world is changing. I think there's a lot of space for everybody who has good intentions and is intentional and really wants to make a change. I think those people will, break through the crowd, but it is going to be hard. And how we can help is, really sifting through what our own social media is. And, I know this is not a topic that the main topic I'm talking about today, but even if we're going into, mental health, how can we, that will help you too. So it's a lot of benefits by kind of just sitting back and evaluating your social media and what you're intaking and everything like that. But to get back to actual influencing talk, we were talking before about, just support and building community, and some people not being provided the opportunities and experiences their counterparts may experience or other people may experience. Now, a big issue is brands undervaluing their influencers. Like the whole gifting stuff, and then people using, like the hair brands using people's videos and they not paying them. It's just so played out, y'all. It is just so played out. I have so many stories about gifting, but one of the actual ones that was really interesting to me, I'm not going to disclose the brand, but I was working with them for a while, in air quotes, when I first started influencing. And majority of my wig videos, if you are watching on YouTube or you want to hit that subscribe button and head over there, most of my YouTube videos in the beginning were gifted things, and I was so excited. I was so happy, like, this brand wants to work with me. I'm putting like 1,010 into the videos. And with one specific brand, I remember I was just like, hey, I can't keep taking free wigs from y'all. Like, in my media kit, a media kit is basically a resume for influencers. In my media kit, I'm specifying that for Amazon reviews, it's gonna have to be $75. If you want me to review your Amazon wig, no YouTube video, no reels, no TikToks, no tagging. If you just want me to write a review about this wig, it will be $75. And you guys, they have not spoken to me since. They just said, if we want to get messy, I can get the receipts. Let's get the receipts, y'all, because we don't play on this side, okay? We do not play on this side of town. So let me get these receipts, girl. It will be funny. Okay. So they said, what they say? Actually, really, really odd, you guys. The messages are not there. Wow. I may tell you a joke, but I'll never tell you a lie. Because why are the messages not here? But regardless, I don't know where that message went. That was messy. That was messy. That was an amazing pop. That was real messy, you guys. I don't know where the message went. That actually kind of took me for a loop because I wanted to read verbatim their response to me. But their response, if I remember correctly, was just along the lines of like, oh, we're currently not doing that, or like, could you just please keep doing it? Mind you, this page has posted me on their Instagram twice. They've reposted my reel. Now this is all money they're taking from me because I put an effort to install the wig. I put an effort to make the video. I put an effort to take the picture. And they basically just told me like, yeah, I compensated you. Oh, a wig that costs $200, but I'm selling for $200, but I only bought this in bulk about $50 per wig, and I made a $150 profit. I can't even give you $75. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because what? And so many brands do this, especially to the Black women, you guys. We get so undervalued. That's why you see a lot of the hair TikTok girlies or just hair influencers stop doing influencing because they're being undervalued. What you guys have to understand with these brands, Amazon brands, even just the big brands that have their own website, they're buying this hair in bulk. You're paying $200 or $200 to $500 for a wig that they only paid $50 to possibly $150, maybe $200, depending on the quality, for one wig. You're making a crazy profit, and you can't even pour that. Thank yous aren't enough. Repostings and complimentings aren't enough. What's enough is putting money in my pocket. Putting money in my pocket. That's how you could show your appreciation. Putting money in my pocket. Okay? Because it's just, it boggles me how these brands want these influencers to provide them with 4K quality, nice this, give a description, tag, all this stuff. But they don't be doing nothing for you. Now, don't get me wrong. Actually, I'm not going to say don't get me wrong, because a lot of influencers actually never did giftings. There's a good amount of influencers that have never received a gifted wig and performed a full-fledged content. So why should you settle? If you know your worth, you know you could bust down a wig, you could bust down a mill, you could do a fire trial haul and make nice pieces to advertise their products perfect. Why would you accept the gifting? Why would you accept the gifting? You're selling yourself short. And that is what is happening right now in the influencing world, and why it's a little tough to separate the trends and people that just want to be a content creator because they know it's money. It's a lot of things mixed up because and I was a part of that group. The more people are accepting giftings, which is sadly within the Black community, the more they just think it's okay. The more that they just repost your picture and you don't say, ad usage, you need to pay me $100 for every month that's up. Da-da-da-da. You know, it's a reason why some of our counterparts are being successful and they're making that money, because they sending over that contract. They're sending over their worth and their value, and it's really hard for so many factors with this topic, especially when it comes to the Black community, because we just always got to prove ourselves so much. It's just so ridiculous. Like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But it's also just like, you do have to stand your ground. Guys, Go on my YouTube and see how many wig installs I have in the past year. I have none because I told myself I'm not accepting giftings anymore. Those emails got less and less. The DMs got less and less. The brands that I worked with before that I thought I was making a good rapport with, they don't message me. So it's crazy to me how it's so tough to talk about this topic, you guys, because it's so much that goes into this. Like it's just a mind fuck. We will be cursing on this pod. We will be cursing, okay? It is a mind fuck. It is, because it's just like, yo, what the heck? Y'all can't pay me $75. I imagine. I'm not even gonna get into my stats, y'all, because it's crazy. Imagine having a video with over 5K views, people commenting in the comments, oh, where'd you get this video from, blah, 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 and you're sending it. And even if you have 5 people go and buy the product that you just freely advertise, they just gain so much free money and you've gained nothing. Because sometimes when pages post you, unless you really, really like bust it down and people really enjoyed, you don't even get a follow from that. So it's just the irony is so crazy because they think that they're doing something by giving you exposure. But it's like, you're not doing nothing for me for real, because ain't nothing much happening. What you could do for me is invest back into me. Show me that you are valuing me, showing me that you enjoy the content I have made for you, and that you are willing to give back to your creators that are advertising your products. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy. That's why in the influencing world, it's very, 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 very important to stand your ground, because you also will come in contact with those brands where you just send your price. They send that order immediately. Okay, we'll pay you in net 30. We'll pay you in net 45. No questions asked. So once you start to remove yourself from those spaces where you're feeling undervalued, where you're feeling like they're selling you short, where you're feeling like you're not really getting to your end goal because you feel like you're being shortchanged, so many new opportunities come your way. And it is also too, you have to be consistent. You got to do your job too. But it is not just on you. There's a lot of good creators. If you guys look on TikTok, there's so many videos, if you're on that side of TikTok, of amazing creators with a bunch of followings, and brands will use their video and be like in collaboration. It's crazy. It gets real crazy because it's a game. It's a hustle. If the brands could give someone a free wig gifting and get the same quality that they would get from another influencer that's trying to charge them 300 plus for ad usage, the video, a picture, they're going to choose the gifting. When we stop taking ourselves out that gifting area, they ain't going to have nothing to do but pay us. So that's the tea, okay? The tea on that. We are reaching our midway, you guys. I am about to get into our tell the truth, our TNT question. If you are tuning in on YouTube, leave a little side eye emoji, the 2 looking eyes. If you this get messy. If you are listening in, I hope you are enjoying so far. Our TNT question of the day is: are influencers a liability or an asset? Are influencers a liability or an asset? Now, I say this because there's a lot of beauty standards going on right now, whether it's BBL culture, soft girl era, all these things, and I feel like it's kind of taken away the message of influencing. Like, that's why you have to find, just like in real life, you have to find your tribe and the people that you're like-minded with. You have to surround your feed with that as well. Surround yourself with the people you follow, because it can lead to so many just mental challenges. And it doesn't mean you're insecure. It doesn't mean you're not confident in yourself. It doesn't mean anything negative. But if you just keep looking at somebody that look nothing like you and they're getting praised and all this stuff, you're going to be like, damn, what the fuck am I? Not necessarily damn what I'm doing wrong, but it will eventually get to you. That's why it is a thing that you should only follow people that you really enjoy and you're inspired by, because For some people, social media has a horrible effect on their mental health. A horrible effect. And just with me personally, I love Aaliyah's face. I love Aaliyah's face so much. I love the group of girls that are in Atlanta. But sometimes I even have to space myself away because it just feels like I am not really taking anything away from this right now. Like, this is not what I need. And it's okay to understand some seasons you might need to just follow a bunch of it girls or baddies or this, and then the next season you might be past that and you might just tune in once or twice. But it's definitely, I don't think it's a negative thing per se, but you just have to know yourself. So I don't feel like influencers are a liability or an asset. I think they can be both, because depending on what you surround yourself with and what you provide in front of your face, what you enjoy, what you like, who you follow, that determines if those people are liabilities or assets to you. If you know that you are looking to start a business or you are an entrepreneur, then you're probably going to want to follow more entrepreneur people rather than someone whose moral compass is a little different than yours, or personality is just like a little different than yours, and you just feel like they're not really helping contribute anything to you, because that's not gonna help you. So I don't think per se influencers are a liability or an asset. I think it's all about what you really put in front of you and what you're intaking and what you're indulging in, and really also what social media is for you. If your social media is kind of like a Pinterest board, a mood board, whatever, then you're going to follow whatever. But if you need social media for, I don't want to say need, but if you utilize social media for more motivation or just whatever, then you know how to curate your feed. I'm hoping y'all are with me here. But I don't think that influencers are truly a liability or an asset. I think they can be both depending on what you surround yourself with and also who you are as a person and your end goals as well. Oh, we just having amazing pops today, you guys. Like, it's clicking, okay? It is clicking. So just like overall with the whole topic of influencing, definitely this is going to be touched upon, because this is my life. I am currently an influencer, so I'm going to be speaking on this. But I think understanding for any up and coming influencers or anyone who's just interested in content, and just anyone who's interested in the arts and media for real, your time is coming and it takes time. You have to build credibility. You have to build credibility. You have to make it where if someone says your name, it's like, oh, yup, that person raw. Yup, that girl's raw. Yup, that boy's fire. He takes crazy good pictures. He dresses, his fits, yo. Oh my God. Like, you have to build that credibility. So it's going to take time. Like in episode 1, we talked about the small steps are greater than the giant leaps. It's going to take a lot of just small things. It's going to take a lot of humble beginnings. It's going to take a lot of broke days. It's going to take a lot of investing in yourself. But your time will come if you wholeheartedly want this as a career, not as a money scheme, not as a quick way to get up, not for clout. If you genuinely want this, your time will come. It's just going to take some time. It is going to take some time. And you are you. We did talk about, the surplus of influencers and, just kind of like the flooding and air quotes of the niches. But, you are you. You are special. You are unique. No one else is like you. So there's space for you. No one can take you away from you. You bring value to the table that, yeah, it can be replaced. Yeah, they can bring someone else that's just like you, but they're not a you. They're not a you. This world is filled with so many people that there's space for everyone. There's people that will enjoy you, enjoy watching your stuff, enjoy keeping up with your life, enjoy how you cook, enjoy what you talk about, etc. The list goes on. But once you understand the value in yourself and what you bring to the table, and not on no like, I bring this to the table, ain't nobody doing this. Just on some like, yo, like I'm raw. I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I'm doing this for. Ain't nobody can take that away from me. You're going to attract so many people. You're going to attract the correct brands. Your target audience is going to be there. Your community is going to be so strong. It's not a coincidence that influencers that have genuinely built credibility in a strong community, they can come out with a brand. DR, for instance, DR has been going for a brick. She has a luxury sunglasses line. Like, and they sell out within seconds because she built that credibility, and she knew there's so many other influencers similar to Dira, accent wise, facial features wise, body type wise, even a little personality, but they're not her. But she's still getting her bag. Those people are still getting the bag. She still has her community. They still have their community. So once you find value in you and understand that I bring this to the table, and who's here, who wants to sit here, they sit here. They want to join me, they can join me. Then you know that your life is just going to become so much more. You're going to attract so much more. You're going to attract so much more. You're going to attract what is good for you, what is meant for you. And just like I keep saying this, if you are an up and coming influencer, this is a process. This is a process. This is not easy. This is a process. Investing in your tech alone is a lot. So take your time, be gracious with yourself. There's going to be a lot of breaks. There's going to be a lot of people confused. And this honestly goes for anybody who's starting a new career or even just, starting their life path. It's going to be hard. Not a lot of people are going to understand your path, understand your vision. But like we said in episode 1, that idea was put in your mind. That idea, that dream, that goal was given to you, not anyone else. So it's going to be real hard because you're going to have a lot of opinions. A lot of people are going to try to tell you what to do, what you could do better, what you don't do better, etc. The list goes on, but you have to keep pushing. You have to reach your end goal. You have to find your purpose. What is your purpose for this? Because it's going to get blurry. You're going to have to keep that clarity of, this is what I'm doing this for, and it's bigger than me. My purpose is I want to be a leader for the young Black women to follow after me. Show that you could be interested in beauty. You can be a STEM girl. You can do all of these things and still remain that bitch on top, okay? But, for real, you could still pursue your dreams. The sky is the limit, y'all. We have one life to live. Every morning we wake up and breathe is a blessing. Anytime we go turn on the shower, it's a blessing. Anytime we put food in our mouth, it's a blessing. And this is just necessity things. We're not talking about the materialistic things, the people we surround ourselves by, financial, the list goes on. That's a blessing. So once you sit back and just really reevaluate, and once again, this goes for anybody career-wise. Once you really sit back and evaluate, like, yo, this is what I'm doing this for, it becomes easier to push through the turmoil. It becomes easier to push through those hard times, to push through that stuff. We have to remember, our testimony is stronger than our test. Our testimony is stronger than our test. We did not let the devil win. We did not let that negative, nasty side win. We persevered. That's much stronger than, crying in bed, saying, oh, he broke my heart. Nah, he thought he was being funny. He broke my heart, but I bossed up. Now I own businesses. Now I got my own stuff. And he's crying. That's such a superficial thing, but the list goes on. Any opportunity that is missed, in air quotes, is never missed. What is for you will always be for you. Your path, your journey is for you. And once you realize that and you sit in that and become content and understand what I go through is what is molding me for that end goal. The things I see, the things I hear, what I do, how I carry myself is contributing to that end goal. You won't fail. Because it's going to be some hard days. You're going to have to pick yourself up. But once you understand, All right, I got me. I know my purpose and I know what's happening to me is for me and it's going to get me to that end goal. You're straight. You're so straight. Success is inevitable for you. Success will be inevitable for you. Once we realize this, we could become a part of the 1%. We could become those people we look up to. We could set an example for the ones after us. It's bigger than us. Once again, our quote, sometimes we're tested not to show our weakness, but to discover our strengths. You never know by someone hearing your story what impact that can do to their life. By telling your testimony, how that can help somebody else spread their testimony. By pushing through and persevering, you never know who's watching and how that could help them. Once again, sometimes we are tested not to show our weakness, but to show our strengths. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this powerful episode. Okay, we talked about influencing, we talked about it all. I cannot wait to dive into this topic more deeper with another influencer to really have a deeper conversation. Once again, if you are tuned in on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button so you can hear more Barbie Talks. If you are listening, please follow our page, the Barbie Talks, so you can hear more topics like this and really get the tea, okay? Really get the tea. I'm super excited to bring on guests, have more hard-hitting conversations. Please, always, you are more than welcome to follow me on Instagram at The Brown Barbie and DM me any questions, suggestions, topics you want me to talk about. I'm more than welcome to talk about any and everything, okay? Everything. Ain't nothing off limits here because I'm your real and raw influencer, The Brown Barbie. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and bye.